I'm someone who thinks that increasing your espresso's brewing quality is not just about how good your technique and your machines are. This is especially true if you're doing it with a home setup. It's seen in the fact that all of my main gears have ease of use, price efficiency, low maintenance, and flexibility for home settings. This view also applies to the grinder, something that most agree to be the gear when it comes to espresso. At home, there's a lot more beyond looking for raw performance. It's why I've been using a hand grinder for most of the time at home. I mean, after all, it ticks all the boxes I need, except the fact that you have to put in some calories to make it work. However, there's been a huge influx of innovation aimed at home brewers recently. Apparently, you can attach a small electric motor to a hand grinder structure. This is where the idea of the Outin Fino electric grinder comes. The Outin Fino is essentially an electric grinder designed with a hand grinder design philosophy. It's an electric burr grinder powered by a rechargeable motor enclosed in a 690-gram carryable package. This idea isn't anything new with modern hand grinders, but I haven't got into this concept implemented in a seamless complete package. In the box, besides the unit itself, you get some standard accessories. The rubber duster goes together with a brush. I think it's quite neat. It's simple, but it works well. The unit itself is made out of food-grade plastic and is sturdy enough for my taste. The grind catch cup is threaded to the main unit, and it's lined with a stainless steel inside. There is a multi-purpose attachment that threads to the catch cup. Not only it may work as a dedicated dosing ring, it also can store ground coffee too, as it has a small lid. Or you can even use this as a shaker if that's preferable. The slightly curved textured stainless steel helps with ease of transfer. I don't know if this design is intentional, but I think this is a catch cup done right. I much prefer this one over a magnetic or a simple threaded one commonly found in hand grinders. I had a bit of trouble liking them. My unit comes with a dark brown color. I'd like to mention that this unit was provided by Outin as a review sample. So to use the grinder, it's a matter of turning the cover anti-clockwise, feeding in the beans inside, and closing it back. Then you can activate the grinder by pressing the main button twice. This will grind all the beans inside the chamber until the machine stops automatically. You can dial the size simply by turning the metal ring at the top of the grinder. This is a rather convenient mechanism that lets you directly adjust the size, so that's nice to see. There are 28 grind steps here, and they are stepped adjustments. Each step corresponds to a burr travel of about 60 micrometers. Maintaining the grinder is also fairly easy, like a normal hand grinder, or even easier. You just have to use the included Allen key and unscrew the bottom burr from the unit. This will reveal the 38mm heptagonal conical burr. Besides the fact that this is a typical hand grinder burr set, I can't really comment much on its specific design and shape. Looking a bit deeper, there's definitely some stability mechanism employed inside. The battery compartment and the electronics also seem to be sealed well inside, but you still should never add water in here. The grind process is fairly silent and stops automatically when the machine detects that there is no more coffee in the chamber. In terms of grind speed, it takes about 125 seconds to grind 16 grams of coffee, using the espresso setting. That's a bit on the slow side compared to a typical budget electric burr grinder, but they don't have to be directly compared. It's about the same speeds achieved in comparable hand grinders without getting physically involved. Plus, slower RPM speeds have its merits, as it's more gentle and does not heat the burrs that much. It typically results in brighter and cleaner cups, a nice thing to have at home where things don't have to be that fast. The catch cup was able to get 15.5 grams out of 16 right out of the gate. And by using the brush you can retrieve about 0.2 grams of coffee grounds. This result is respectable, considering that I did minimal effort with the brush and did not squirt any water, as it's not advisable to do it here. This might be better if you are using a lighter roast and the weather wasn't as dry. The overall combination nets you a good performance for espresso, natively using an Outin Nano or even with other espresso brewers like the Flare. This is in an electric grinder package that is a lot closer to a hand grinder in size than a tabletop grinder at this price. And I can say that I'm confidently happy with its general performance. Building up with this design philosophy in mind, you get more flexibility. This is the reason why the Fino is mostly advertised as a travel/portable/outdoor grinder. It's powered by a small lithium battery which can last for about 20 double shot grinds. And everything easily charges with the USB-C port on the back of the unit. While I get the distinction that Outin is trying to make with the Fino, I see this feature as more of a bonus, as the Fino holds up on its own strengths even as a budget home grinder. Now I get that you can get more value with a manual hand grinder, or that it doesn't compete directly with a tabletop electric grinder. But I don't think it should be compared in that way. I don't think it should all be about raw performance. In my opinion, the strongest aspect of the Fino is the design choices around the grinder. They give you the seamless experience that is worth praising. Most notably are the on-the-fly adjustment mechanism, the one-screw disassembly procedure, how the catch cup was designed, and how little the grounds were retained. Even as simple as this detachable brush and blower combo can also be something that's worth mentioning, as it works very well. The design choices here makes using the grinder very pleasant. However, of course, like everything else, there are some things I would prefer to see being improved. I believe that the top cover's pathway is not wide enough. Sometimes when I feed the coffee quickly, the bigger beans would not seamlessly fall as they should, directly to the chamber. Yes, I can take the top cover off, but this would be easily fixed if the cover had a few more millimeters of clearance. I also think that the auto-stopping feature may be a bit too sensitive. Sometimes the grinder would stop even with some coffee beans left. To fix this issue when it happens, you can shake the grinder a bit and start the grinder again. But regardless, I still believe that the system should be designed to be a bit more tolerant. And last but not least, I believe that the amount of steps here are a bit too few for an espresso grinder. While it's nice to have a range from espresso all the way to French press, the number of steps is a tad too rough for my liking. I know that asking for a stepless mechanism while retaining everything else is probably too much of an engineering challenge. But if I'm asked what would be the one leap that Outin should take to give us a breakthrough in this space, it's probably that. Convenience-minded designs to this point are always avoided because they just don't cut it for more serious buyers. And while the Fino's performance or value isn't earth-shattering, their combination with user experience and flexibility department is special. It has a place in the home barista space and is probably going to open up a whole new design paradigm. If you are interested in the Fino to improve your workflow on your coffee routine at home, or if you'd like to have more flexibility, you can check out the link in the pinned comment below to get a 10% discount. Until next time.